When I woke up, I found out that the student I was sponsoring was actually the leading lady. Right then, she knelt down and gratefully accepted my help. Thank you, Lisa. Once I start earning money, I'll definitely repay you. Her way of repaying me? She stole my first love and egged on my brother to kill me. She drained all my resources to boost her own reputation. Even with all that, my first love turned around and blamed me. She's just accepting your help. Why make her kneel? I pulled back the check. Smiling at my first love, I said, why don't you sponsor her then? Let's see how generous you'll be when your resources are drained. The feeling of being burned alive never really left me. Even after being reborn, the helplessness and pain of being consumed by flames stayed with me. I looked at the girl kneeling in front of me, the one responsible for my death, and laughed coldly. Right now, the girl pleading for my help, Judy, is our school's poor student and the star of the show with her protagonist aura. She's kneeling down, appearing so soft and vulnerable, with what seems like a halo above her head. Thank you, Lisa. I'll repay you one day, she said. That halo, could it be her protagonist aura? Having just come back to life, I remembered how she repaid me in the last life. She took away my first love and convinced my brother to set the fire that killed me. She sucked all my resources dry for her own advantage. Just because she was the heroine in the story and I was the villainess? I looked at the check in my hand filled with zeros. Forget sponsoring one Judy, I could probably sponsor 10. True to her heroine status, she talked a big game. Just as I was about to take back the check, my first love, Logan, saw Judy kneeling in front of me. She's only accepting your help. Do you really have to make her kneel? In my previous life, I didn't realize the affair between Logan and Judy. One was a girl I was helping, and the other was my first love, whose family business needed to cling to ours. Why would I suspect anything? It wasn't until I found them in bed together that I realized how blind trust can be dangerous. But this time, I didn't miss the charged looks between them. I took back the check and smiled at Logan. I'll hand this opportunity over to you. You sponsor her. I was curious to see how generous he'd be when it was his turn to be used. Logan helped Judy up, and she leaned weakly against him. I tore up the check in my hand. Logan, Judy says it'll take $1 million to support her through college. Are you ready with the cash? I wasn't underestimating Logan, he just didn't have that kind of money. Even though his family made it into high society, they lacked business acumen and ran through their fortunes. Now they survived only because of our company. They clung to us at every social event to keep up appearances. To me, $1 million was pocket change. But for Logan, his whole family couldn't come up with that amount. Their company was hanging by a thread, surviving on orders we shared with them. They hadn't even made a profit before having to pay suppliers and bank interests. Sure enough, when he heard $1 million, Logan quickly let go of Judy. $1 million? Does it really cost that much to sponsor someone? Sponsoring others wouldn't need that much, but for our protagonist? That's what funds her lavish lifestyle, buys others work to maintain her image, and attracts fools like Logan. Judy clung tightly to Logan's arm to keep him from backing out. Thank you, Senior, for helping me. At that moment, my brother, who was coming over to congratulate Judy with a fruit basket, walked in. The fruit scattered everywhere. Raised by our grandmother, my brother had never expected to be just a backup option. Judy had planned everything, expecting Logan and my brother to catch me acting haughty. In the previous life, it went exactly as Judy planned. Logan accused me of trampling others' dignity just because I had money. My brother said I was humiliating her because she was poor. Even as I tried to explain that it was her who kneeled voluntarily, Judy started crying, grasping both with her melodramatic tears. No one listened to me. Everyone around us also thought the weaker party was in the right. A storm in a teacup, everyone started doubting my character, labeling me arrogant and domineering. Someone posted a video of it online, edited to make me look bad, which led to online harassment. Even our family stocks suffered. To protect the company, my dad actively distanced himself, transferring all my shares elsewhere, claiming I had no ties to the company. For good measure, a foundation was established in Judy's name to support poor students. I became a pariah while Judy rose to fame. In this life, I watched Judy and Logan huddled together, watched classmates approaching, and said with a bitter smile, "Judy, you're not on the aid list, so how did you get to me?" The Wilson Group is indeed wealthy and promised to help poor students, but you're not on the list. One minute you're kneeling for $1 million, the next cozy with my boyfriend. Quite the tactics. Well, Lisa, know when to hold and when to fold. This man, he's all yours. The classmates were capturing all of this with their phones. I made sure they didn't record for nothing by replaying Judy's words that I'd recorded earlier. In the video, Judy said shrewdly, Lisa, with all your family's money, surely you don't mind sponsoring one more student? I just need $1 million. Just give me the money, and I'll get on my knees for you. I didn't say a word, and Judy went straight to her knees. She even got more submissive when she heard Logan approaching. Thank you, Lisa. I'll definitely repay you once I earn money. Logan's hand around Judy's waist stiffened. Is this true? Is it true? I don't know, but I can see Judy's protagonist aura dimming. So, will her aura disappear because of my efforts? Judy wanted to explain, but I interrupted her. Judy, it doesn't matter if it's true or not because Logan already agreed to sponsor you. And Logan, just so you know, as Lisa, I don't wear second hand. Congrats on being single again. I'll have my dad clear things up with the media. The onlookers weren't satisfied yet. Someone even asked me, Lisa, were you really betrayed? I raised my eyebrows and said, if you're curious, ask someone who might have been strolling in the woods last night around 8. They might tell you. This was intel I got in my last life after realizing the betrayal. Before I ever sponsored Judy, she was already involved with Logan. Once they heard what I said, my classmates started gossiping. Seeing my brother standing there, I calmly went home. According to the novel, Judy is supposed to be the perfect woman. She comes from a poor family with an innate talent for painting. Her life is like a game script, completing different tasks grants her various life benefits. And me, I was one of her tasks. If destroying me means she gains wealth, fame, and enters high society, then she'll become the ultimate winner. I was fiddling with the bracelet on my hand, thinking, what if she can't destroy me? I don't believe the world follows a set story. I've always believed in free will. I've already changed the plot of Kneeling. Why can't I be the main character in my world? As I was lost in thought, my brother came home with a bright face, unlike before. Judy sure has her ways, getting caught by my brother with another guy and still winning him over. Seeing me, my brother sneered. I found out the truth. How could a pure and adorable girl like Judy do that? You set it up, right? Seeing him so confidently dumbfounded, I ignored him. Heading upstairs, he shouted from the living room, you're just a girl. Everything in this house will be mine one day. In my past life, when the flames engulfed me, my brother said the same thing. Sis, once you're dead, Judy can replace you. Everything in this house will be mine. Why is Dad so biased toward you? It should all be mine. In that moment, I realized being backstabbed by family hurts more than fire. This is the first sleep since I've been reborn. I thought I'd toss and turn, but I slept soundly. I woke up early, seeing my mom watering flowers in the garden. Hearing the curtains rustle, my mom turned with a loving smile, up so early today? What do you want for breakfast? I'll have the maid make it. I couldn't hold back my tears. I remembered when I was cyberbullied, trying to prove myself, my mom hugged me, saying, you are you. Why prove you're better than anyone else? I got it. But I was killed by my brother. For the sake of my family, I'll be the main character in my own life. Judy, because of her protagonist status, does have exceptional painting talent. But she spends most of her time networking and entering high society. All her paintings are bought and passed off as her own. This is why she needed $1 million, for clothes, for buying artwork, it all requires funding. As she gains more attention, completing story tasks, her protagonist halo strengthens. I've actually been involved in the family business for a while. My brother, spoiled and indulged by grandma, was too far gone when my parents noticed. So long ago, my parents decided I'd inherit the family business. As for my brother, as long as he doesn't start a business, that's the biggest help. Unexpectedly, Judy sweet-talked him into thinking he should inherit the business. I'm just a girl, I should marry and raise kids, a traditional woman's role. Fine, this time, let's let Judy settle and live that life. In my senior year, classes aren't too demanding, my focus is mostly on the business. After announcing my breakup with Logan yesterday, his parents came by. In their eyes, I'm not just their future daughter-in-law but their cash cow. Arriving at the office, I saw Logan and his parents waiting for me outside. Logan hobbled over when he saw me and said, "Lisa, you misunderstood. Judy and I have nothing going on." I stared at the slap mark on his face and sneered, "Logan, I'll give you a chance for old time's sake. Is there anything between you and Judy? You don't need to rush to answer. As long as you're telling the truth, even if you and Judy were involved, I wouldn't break up with you." Logan quickly responded, "I have nothing with Judy. We're just a senior and junior." Logan's mom also chimed in, "Lisa, I can assure you, our Logan would never do something like two-timing. If he did, I..." She didn't finish her sentence because her attention was caught by what was on my phone screen. The grapevine at school didn't disappoint me. They found the footage from the woods that night in just one evening and shared it online for everyone to see. Even if they hadn't found it, I would have shared the private investigator's findings. Though the lighting was dim, you could still see the pale skin and those intimate gestures. Logan's mom, who was just defending him, turned and slapped her son across the face. "How could you do this? Was it that girl who seduced you? It must have been her, you wouldn't do this otherwise." I watched Logan's mom put on an act and checked my watch. Judy should be arriving soon. After all, my assistant informed me that Logan's parents were in my office, so I quickly had the private investigator message Judy. "Today is your day to step into high society, and the place is Wilson Tower. How could Judy miss such an opportunity? In the past, she locked me in the washroom and stole my dress to attend a banquet. This time, Judy was definitely prepared." As soon as Logan's mom blamed her, Judy immediately clung to Logan like a timid bird. "Auntie, how could you say that? Logan and I are truly in love." Logan's mom and Judy argued back and forth while I enjoyed the drama, without forgetting to call my gossip-loving brother over for the show. Logan's mom, wielding the video, argued, "In love? Look at this, weren't you the one who leaned in and kissed my son first? You're supposed to be a struggling student, yet here you are, so shameless." Judy shot back defiantly, "You think I was the one who made the first move? You have no idea. Your son's been giving me the eye for 6 months." She showed messages that praised Judy's looks and skills, saying how much more outgoing she was compared to me. Judy gave me a triumphant smile, but the truth would be a harsh blow. Logan is the kind of guy who expects me to pay for dates. Would she really think I'm using Logan to climb up the ladder of success? Logan must have exaggerated his talents in front of her, causing Judy to cling to him like a lifeline. My brother hurried over, prepared to play hero. But he didn't expect to hear that Judy and Logan had been sleeping together for months, with photos, videos, and texts to prove it. In disbelief, he shook Judy's shoulders. "This can't be true. You said you loved me." Whether Judy ever loved my brother, I don't know. But I could see that with the gossip spreading, Judy's leading lady aura was dimming. If we divided before, now it's down to nothing. In the past life, after my downfall, I cursed the world's unfairness, wondering why the lead gets the glory. But this time around, I'd ensure Judy, even with her supposed spotlight, ends up losing pathetically. Judy slapped my brother, "Stop bothering me. Logan and I are truly in love." As the situation escalated, Logan's dad walked off to save face, with his mom trailing behind. Logan, too, had no face left to argue, leaving my brother slumped against the wall, crying as Judy chased Logan's shadow. I approached him with comfort. "Judy is a charming girl, likely deceived by Logan. She's a poor student who hasn't seen much of the world. Believe in her." Just like that, my brother was convinced, forgetting his harsh words from yesterday. He clenched his fists, determined to protect her. He then rushed out as if filled with newfound vigor. I didn't have time to join their love games, as I had my own plans. To push Judy and Logan's affair into the limelight, I paid to keep them trending, beyond Logan's family's control. And I hired a private investigator to find Logan's illegitimate sibling. In the past, Logan had tried to gain my sympathy by telling me about his half-brother, abandoned by his mom. Later, I discovered that sibling was a genius with an eidetic memory. Bringing him back could ensure Logan's downfall. And as for Judy, once her genius facade crumbles, her spotlight dims. Due to the media coverage, Logan's family had no choice but to acknowledge his relationship with Judy. Naturally, being the wronged party, I received heaps of sympathy, allowing me to easily cut off all ties with Logan's family. In the past, my assertiveness led to accusations against me as being intolerant and discriminating against the underprivileged, causing massive backlash. This time, they'll taste their own medicine. Even with Judy's supposed aura, she wasn't the most criticized in this public fiasco. After all, she was the underdog in this media frenzy. But with her background as a poor student blessed with artistic talent, Judy quickly rose to internet fame. Taking advantage of the moment, she launched her own social media account, sharing her art with the world. People couldn't stop raving about both the quality of her work and how fast she updated her feed. They marveled at her talent and speed. Someone as beautiful and talented as her being involved in a scandal? No way. They thought. She must be the victim here. Logan probably tricked her cause she's so naive. Some even said, who cares if she's a mistress? Her art is all that matters. Reading these comments, I was amazed at Judy's immunity to criticism, wondering when being a mistress became something people could overlook. As Judy's fame skyrocketed, I wasn't even mad. Instead, I helped boost her popularity even more. Because, you know, the higher you climb, the harder you fall. In the month since I came back, Judy stayed busy, balancing her social media hustle with attending events. Naturally, she showed up as Logan's fiancé. But people at these events only watched them with spectators' eyes. No one wanted to get close. Last time around, Judy used my connections to get ahead, attending parties and getting noticed because of me. People even commissioned art from her. That's how she networked and rose so fast. But Logan's family, they relied on me. Without me backing Logan, who would dare stay close to them? Unlike Judy, who was desperate to climb the social ladder, I focused on my career. I had too many unfinished plans from my past life, and I was determined to make them happen this time. In just a month, I hit the company's annual profit goal and donated my salary to charity. I didn't show my face, but I made sure the press talked about it. Everyone was praising my parents for raising me right. Meanwhile, my brother, who kept sending Judy money, was grounded and had his expenses cut. I mean, Judy stole my fiancé, and my own brother was supporting her with cash. Who wouldn't be mad? Since he had no money, my brother turned to me for help. As his sister, I happily took his shares and gave him some cash in return. When I saw Judy again, her main character glow was still there, but not as dazzling as when I first saw her after my rebirth. But she still managed to capture everyone's attention at the event. Logan had taken over the company, but compared to my success, he was struggling. Judy had convinced him to invest in some disastrous projects that nearly broke his company, while she ended up making a fortune. Judy's now on cloud 9, with her artwork selling for crazy prices and her business ventures thriving. So, when she waltzed into the event in her glamorous dress, everyone was watching her. She approached me, champagne in hand, with her head held high. Hey, there, if you had supported me back then, you'd be much more successful now, right? She said. Amused by her arrogance, I responded, what's your idea of success, anyway? Having a guy like Logan drain his resources for you? Or maybe buying others' art and selling it as your own? Or perhaps you dabble in money laundering? My voice got quieter as I spoke, and Judy looked around nervously. What nonsense are you spouting? You just resent that I'm more famous than you. She snapped. Last time, I thought Judy was just a main character type with some clever tricks that outsmarted me. This time, however, I hired a private investigator. Her supposed auctions? Just a front for laundering. People aided her in attacking me because of this. Judy even got her hooks into Logan's family business. Luckily, I found Logan's dad's long-lost son before coming to this event. I made a deal with him, I'd reveal his son's whereabouts if he gave me shares in Logan's company. Initially hesitant, he changed his mind after seeing his son's intelligence and business skills. He was more excited about saving his business than reuniting with his son. Giving me some shares was a small price to avoid bankruptcy under Logan's leadership. Seeing me silent, Judy grew anxious and clung to my arm. How much money do you want? I can transfer $200,000 right now. She bargained. I smirked, that $200,000 wouldn't be from my gullible brother, would it? Judy kept her cool, does it matter who gave it to me? Just name your price. I gave a cold laugh, what I want. Your life. At my words, Judy's hand trembled, and she dropped her champagne glass. Everyone turned our way but quickly became distracted by buzzing phones. Headlines flooded the media. Talented Judy sells others' art as her own. Various artists came forward saying they never knew their work was sold at such high prices, and they felt cheated by Judy. All of this, the interviews, videos, and trending news, I orchestrated. The media storm gathered momentum faster than I imagined, and the shine around Judy dimmed considerably. But exposing her for buying other people's work isn't really what I aim to do. I want to see her fall from grace, abandoned and even trampled by the very capital she tries to appease. The trending topic? That's all my doing. I paid for those bots. Are you guys not shocked? Just a month ago, she was known as the girl stealing other people's boyfriends, and now her artworks are selling at crazy high prices? What's the real value here? Every piece looks different, some wildly so, from her earlier work. Why does she still have fans? Is there something shady going on behind the scenes? I've got this pretty wild thought. Maybe it's money laundering? It's odd that a poor student like her would get caught up with the kind of money laundering folks. Probably because she's gotten real close to someone. You can even see Judy's face in the photo, looking both innocent and alluring. You can't see the guy's face, but from the build, everyone could figure out it's Jack, the big shot in the city's underworld. Jack and Judy knew each other from when Judy worked at those nightclubs as a hostess. But it wasn't until she and Logan started marketing her as some genius art prodigy online that Jack remembered her. Big money talks, so Judy teamed up with Jack. They pulled Logan's company into the mess, calling it an investment, to cover up their laundering. I've shared the clues. Now it's up to the internet to dig in further. Judy's phone kept buzzing, insults pouring in from the other end. Her face shifted through shades of red, white, and green, settling on a bleak expression as she checked the trending topics online. Logan was socializing when he saw the trending news. Even if he's clueless about business, he knew he'd been dragged into a mess by Judy. The party ended with Logan beating the crap out of Judy. And this became the biggest joke among the city's elite, being conned by a girl from a poor family. But the party didn't end the drama. People online kept digging into Judy's life, uncovering more secrets. Turns out she is from a poor background, but money wasn't really a problem for her. Since college, she'd been bouncing around nightclubs. In that past life, all opportunities seemed to fall into her lap, and no matter what I did, I couldn't compete. But this time, it's different. Everything's out in the open. Her main character Halo vanished. To protect its reputation, Logan's dad disowned him and revealed the company's financials. He set up a charity to help real poor students. In the chaos, Logan's dad's illegitimate child rose to power, turning the company around and settling old scores against Logan and his mom. Logan and his mom got kicked out, struggling for work and housing. They assumed Logan's dad would toss them some cash out of past affection, but all he cared about was money. In the end, Logan ended up working at the same clubs Judy used to, selling himself. Even old friends humiliated him and posted it all online. Judy attempted to go live to explain herself, but nobody listened. Previous buyers of her work stormed the live, splashing paint over her. I spent so much money on your art, just to find out they were someone else's? Give me a refund. This is false advertising. Unfortunately, Judy's broke. She always went all out for events, spending just to look the part. But she still had my gullible brother. He rushed to her rescue, using all his savings to settle things and moved Judy to a rented place. I told my parents about this. My dad was so mad he smashed his favorite teacup. What a disgrace. She's a criminal. Maybe my son isn't just business inept, he's downright stupid. Dad was shaking with anger, but my grandma insisted, even if he's stupid, he's still your son, the heir to this family. Dad used to be a bit overly filial. Not now. He shot back, sure, Mom, he can have the company. But if your grandson drives it to ruin, guess who takes the fall? Grandma retorted, convinced nothing could touch her, I'm just an old lady. What prison? My dad threw out some news articles, you don't believe me? Check out the news. When you insisted on being the company's legal representative, imagine the responsibilities you took on. As she read, Grandma's face turned ashen, I don't want to go bankrupt or to jail. Imagine how the others would laugh at me. I watched in silence as Grandma panicked. In the past life, my brother burned me to death, with Grandma witnessing it. Now, she's realizing he's a liability, eager to cut him off. But my brother vanished long ago. He and Judy were detained by Jack. Internet folks, eager for justice, passed all evidence to the cops. All eyes on them, the police sped up their investigation. It was just a matter of time before they caught up with Jack. Jack didn't think he did anything wrong, blaming the mess on Judy's carelessness. Judy, disregarding my brother's presence, crawled to Jack, pleading, "Give me another chance, Jack. I didn't mean for this to happen. Besides, I've done so much this past month. Doesn't that count for something?" Jack grabbed Judy's chin and spat on her face in disgust. "Hard work? I haven't made enough this month to cover what I've already spent trying to make connections. If it weren't for you showing off and talking nonsense at those parties, would everyone have their eyes on me? Listen, before I end up in jail, I'll make sure you suffer." My brother, in a heroic attempt to save Judy, stepped in. "Our family has money. Tell me how much you want, and my grandma will give it to you." Judy quickly added, "He's the only son of the Wilson Group, surely they can pay up." Jack was actually tempted, but little did he know, I already knew where my brother was taken. He had a hidden bug on him. So, when my brother called, I pretended to be all righteous. "Brother, don't worry. Didn't you say to call the cops if I got your message?" "Well, I already did. We've tracked your phone location, and we're coming to rescue you." The line went dead immediately. Through the bug, I heard Jack beating up my brother. "You little punk, you think you're smart, huh? Now that you've given away my location, you're not getting out alive." My brother tried to explain, but he was too beaten to speak. By the time the cops arrived, the villa was already on fire. My brother was trapped inside, severely burned and barely breathing. Judy started the fire. Jack promised that if Judy took care of my brother, he wouldn't pursue the money laundering leak. Without hesitation, Judy lit the gasoline and calmly said, "Jack, you better keep your word." When the cops showed up, Judy acted like a victim seeking help. But the police had already heard everything via the bug in their car. They knew Jack's escape route, and they laid a trap to catch him and his entire operation. My brother lay in a hospital bed, unable to move except for his fingers and eyes. The nurse looked at me and comforted. "He's severely burned, and his throat was damaged from inhaling too much smoke. Even if you spend money for his care, it'll only prolong his suffering." I pretended to be unwilling to let go of his life, crying, "No matter how much it costs, you've got to keep my brother alive. The longer he suffers, the happier I'll feel. Last life, I was burned alive. In this life, he must suffer too." Judy was sentenced to death for money laundering, murder, and arson. I visited her in prison, and she looked 20 years older. This is the backlash of the protagonist aura. Nothing comes free, you must give to receive. Judy got to enjoy the perks of being the protagonist, but couldn't give back, so she paid the price. Judy saw me and bitterly smiled. "You were reborn, weren't you? How else did I end up like this after getting the protagonist's script?" The guard nearby heard "reborn" and rolled her eyes. Any chance to weigh in, and she'd think Judy read too many novels. I didn't answer Judy, but casually remarked, "Logan is now working at the club with his mom. Mother and son together, their videos and pictures are all over the net. I heard they got AIDS and are in the basement waiting for death. And my brother the simp is still in the hospital proving his love." I stopped his pain meds. "How else would he continue loving you? As for those artworks you painted from your so-called gift, they're in the trash. People say, if a person's rotten, how good can their art be?" Judy insisted, "I lost because you were reborn. Otherwise, I'd have burned you to death again." I didn't confirm anything, just put on my sunglasses and ignored her hysterics. In my past life, I fell into the trap she set and paid with my life to prove I was better. This time around, I live for myself, envisioning a beautiful world. Everyone is the protagonist of their own life, others are merely passing characters. The end.